Sitting there in the coffee shop, he started talking to me in this sing-song tone. Right away I felt tingles like a centipede creeping up my spine, and my eyelids kind of fluttered. And pretty soon, something weird started happening because I felt this strange confidence rising up in me like a balloon. And I felt that fog of anxiety and fear in my head start to clear. It was crazy. I remember thinking, is this what real happiness feels like? I'd never felt anything like it before. Then he stopped talking, and that's when the most important moment of my life happened, right there in the coffee shop. And you'll want to remember this next part, because what you're about to hear is the single most important key to experiencing your life's richest future. I woke up. I felt like I'd been sleepwalking through my whole life, and someone had just reached out and shaken me awake. And when I said as much to Dan, he looked at me, winked, and said, "Yup." So what happened next? What was it that Dan did to me that day? And did it work? Well, fast forward to today, and these days I'm a multimillionaire several times over. I've been featured in Forbes magazine, People magazine, and countless articles and radio interviews. My clients include celebrities, executives, CEOs, directors, and star athletes, and I charge $25,000 per person for the same exact 6-step secret that I'm about to give you right now. The 6-step secret that changed everything for me, the same way it's going to change everything for you too. You see, when I left my friend at the coffee shop that day, I walked home in a mental state I'd never experienced before. Normally, my mind was a jumble of evil thoughts and negativity. All the ways I was a screw-up, how I could never get ahead. That day, instead of being clouded with evil thoughts, now I felt alive, awake, buzzing with ideas and inspiration. And best of all, the heavy sense of doubt and fear had lifted. I wasn't tense, I wasn't jittery, I was just clear. And that's when, out of nowhere, something absolutely crazy popped into my head. See, I'd had a small online business on the side these last couple of years, and while the business brought a few dollars here and there, it sure wasn't accumulating a lot of cash. It just sort of went along in the background, and every now and again I'd see a few bucks pop into my account, but walking home from the cafe that day, like a flicker of inspiration from God himself, an idea popped into my head. Right away, I whipped out my phone and called my business partner Frank, and told him what I had in mind. And I finished by saying, "So I figure my idea will make us about $60,000 over the next 3 weeks. Are you game?" Said Frank. "Wait, are you serious?" "As a heart attack," I said confidently. Well, Frank hemmed and hawed about making the changes, but the prospect of a free $60,000 must have sounded pretty convincing, because by the time I'd arrived back at my clinic, we'd struck a deal, and I got right to work. And it was really weird. Overall, I didn't even do that much. Not really. I reached out to a few of our customers, and I changed a few little things about the business, and I guess I tweaked a few things here and there, but I really didn't feel like I was doing anything at all. Yet, as the weeks went by, it was like I'd stepped through the looking glass and ended up in a strange new world, a world where money almost grew on trees. Because as the days turned into weeks, things started happening, like the tiny rumble preceding an avalanche. First, little trickles of money started coming in, then a bit more. And then, one day, it was like the floodgates had just opened, and everything just erupted like a volcano exploding. More and more people started flooding to the business, just begging to buy what we were selling. And in absolute shock, I watched with breathless glee as my idea wasn't just working, it was exploding like a space rocket taking off. By the time the bank's deadline rolled around 3 weeks later, I gave the books one final going over, my heart thumping with adrenaline, my cheeks hot with pride. I saw that we had netted a total of over $59,920. Nearly $60,000 had just appeared. It felt like magic. It was amazing. As for Frank, well, his eyes were like saucers. Looking at the business account, his jaw was literally hanging open. "Holy crap, Steve," he said. "What did you do?" I barely knew what to say, because the truth was, even I didn't really know. Over the days and weeks that followed, things shifted in a big way. First, I paid off my bank loan, even had a few thousand left over afterwards. And then I started to use my newly awakened mind to come up with all kinds of ideas. Some little ideas, some big ones. Some that worked in just a few days, some that took weeks or months to kick in. Some that brought money in, and some that allowed me to save money or get the stuff I wanted for free. With the influx of fresh energy and new ideas, my clinic truly took off, and my clients began to experience success like never before. And things just kept happening faster and getting better until just 1 year later, my accountant called me up, and with a huge grin I could hear in his voice, he officially congratulated me on becoming a real-life millionaire. I had done it. I'd escaped the debt trap. I turned failure into success, saved my financial life, created the life I'd always wished could be mine, yet had never dared to truly hope for. And it was all because of the incredible power of the 6-step millionaire mind secret I got in that day in the coffee shop.
If you'd like to find out more, click the link in the description now.